I looked at Baba and I said, what else, you see? So I'm like that. So whatever you say, I'm like that. And then Baba looked at me. You see, that's his compassion. That's what I said this year. Then he looked at me and he said, yes, that's true. Means, yes, I am crazy, I am mad or whatever. But he said, there is vacancy for you. There is room for you here. And the fun of it is this, that he said, in this room, and as years rolled on, I really lived in the next room to this Mandali Hall. That's my room. So when he said there is room for you, actually, just like the morning, when he said, name your second son, this morning I told you the story, name your second son Jongir. Were you here? I don't know. So he said that way. So it was just like that when he said. So about this, I feel that those who are sane, those who are logical, there are so many people for them in this world. They can read so many books, they can go to so many people, they can argue with so many people, and they can put their questions and get the answer for so many people. But where would the mad go? So it is for the love of such persons that I think the five masters they bring down, but also persons like this must be a minimum. At the most minimum, at its minimum, cause could be like this. So these are the thoughts that I said something about madness and sanity. And it's addressing to Baba. I say, Baba, I do not understand you, nor do I even want to. For I am sure you understand me better than I do. At your first step towards me, it heavily held, but each hailstone was surprisingly turned into a soft, smiling gem. Your moments of love have divine manner and rhythm. The music of your companionship is hard to fathom, wherever you are, whatever you are. As you appear in your glory, that dimmed the light of the sun. Here by sun I mean the intelligence, overestimation of intellect. People call it he's a man of wisdom. That's the sun I say. That dim, when I say, as you appeared in your glory, that dimmed the light of the sun, the moon's heart beat faster and she chuckled at this fun. This moon is the heart, the feeling. So when you first come in Baba's contact, that first moment, so that dimmed the, what you call, the sun, and the heart chuckles. Now, I have no mission in life except to flow to your pleasure. The rest may be precious, gracious, but to me not a treasure. Then you see so many big people, nice people with great qualifications and all that, but you are not attracted towards that. You say, Baba, I am yours, and whatever I am, whatever you accept me, it's all right. My mission is to please you and not to become something great and then do your work, or at least that's not with me. That's what I'm trying to explain. And then, in fact, Baba has called me mad, but here I have not mentioned the story. I said, people call me mad, a best compliment. I pity their vanity. But I do not envy them, for I do not want their sanity. So it's this. So it's just this is we want to. When we come here, people said, "Oh, he was really a good man before he came to Baba. He would have really had a very nice living and life and all that, and he has come to Baba. And what has happened to him now? You see, what's happened to him?" And you ask that person, and he says, I too don't know that. How can I tell you what has happened to me? That's my question. I don't want an answer to it, but it's my question. And it's with him, it's with Baba. Whatever has to be that way, has to be that way. Then I said I will share some funny. Not funny, in a way they are humorous, they are profound also. How in our relationship with Baba we feel There is no such thing, to me I feel, there is no such thing that you have achieved, you have accomplished, and now you are ready as a perfect tool for Baba to work on. That's not my idea. Again, I should say it's not a thought, it's my personal sharing, what I feel in my relationship with Baba. So some talk of love, some talk of obedience, and I will tell you a funny story, a humorous story about obedience, which I thought was obedience, but in fact it was just trying to show off myself. So what happened, one day we were in Pune Guru Prasad, and Baba was there, and so many people would come and meet Baba, and Baba would be seeing them. One of them was a scholar, and he sang some songs to Baba, devotional songs to Baba, and in the end he gave a book that he had written to Baba. It was a commentary on one of the parts of Gita. So he gave it, Baba said, very nice. And it was a Jnaneshwari. So Baba took the book, the man was sitting there for some time. When he goes away, so I was also, Baba said, oh, that's a nice book and you have written it very well, and I'm listening to all these things. So Baba was there and we would be sitting just at a distance like this. The man was seated there. So when that man left, Baba simply made a gesture, come close, come close. So I said, oh, Baba is calling me, good. So I go close, and Baba had that book in his hand, so the title was here. So what Baba did, as soon as I approached Baba, he just turned the book like this. And then he said, take this book, don't read what's the title, don't read any line of the book, and keep it with you. So naturally with Baba there were some moments like this. So I just took the book and kept it like this. But you see how it's in our, if at all we call growth with Baba or whatever words, I don't have that special words to use for a certain thing. Right. I don't have. So anyway, when Baba gave me this, I should have been wise enough not to ask him anything. That's all. He gave me the book, I kept it here, and he said, don't read. That's all right. I should have been quite quiet with that thing. So after some time I looked at Baba and I said, Baba, what should I do with this book? So Baba looked at me and felt like surprised. I'm asking, what should I do with this book? He said, all right, remind me about this after 1 year. What should I do about this book? Baba says, remind me about this after 1 year. So I, as an obedient person, you see, I have to be obedient and all that. I just, as soon as Baba left, I looked at my watch, put the timing, the date, and the month, and the year, and that I have to remind Baba exactly after 1 year. So I said, at least it's a sort of a passport or a divine certificate that I would at least be alive. Because he will get his order fulfilled. Now naturally I would be coming to Baba. Baba would be staying in Guru Prasad, Pune, and I would come and stay with him between 5 to 6 weeks, and every day we would be with, whether it is seclusion or strict seclusion, Baba had, in his compassion, allowed me to be with him. So now is the next year. So of course in Diwali I came here and stayed with Baba and all these things, and so now again it's the summer vacation. I go to Guru Prasad and I'm just waiting for that day. So now the day arrived. So I just kept the book well wrapped up just near me. We would be 4 or 5 people sitting in front of Baba, and Eresh would be the one reading out the correspondence, and if there is correspondence in vernacular, I would be reading out to Baba. So now I wanted to show off that I am the most obedient person. You see, whatever you order, right to the, what they say, on the dot on the spot, or spot on the dot, or whatever it is. So I had my watch like this, and the book is there, the time is there, and I'm just watching and all that. And generally the correspondence would finish in half an hour or so. But that day, to my surprise, unless Baba asked to stop, Erish won't stop reading the pile of correspondence. So Baba would say, next. This was signed for next. So Erish went on reading. And now I am looking at the watch, and now it's a dilemma for me. What to do now? Baba is listening to the correspondence. Erish is reading. Baba has ordered me to remind him exactly after 1 year. So while the things were going on, so at least Baba gave me that much, that much madness or shrewdness or whatever you may call it. So instead of saying anything, I just raised my hand like this to arrest Baba's attention. You see? So Baba just looked at me and he said, what a fool he is. He is reading the correspondence and he is raising his hand like this. What has happened to him? Something wrong here. So, and then Baba looked at me and he said, hands down. Why are you raising your hand? Get down your hand. I said, all right. So I said, all right. At least I arrested his attention. Correspondence went on, and I didn't say anything about it. Then other things went on, and I think it was, even then we played cards, but Baba didn't. Baba is more, they call it perfect psychologist, but for Baba is something beyond that also. He allowed to happen so many things in your mind and heart when he brings up a certain thought or feeling in you. He awakens that in you. He brings it to the surface, and so many shapes and shades and waves of that thing, they just go on, roll on, flow on, and then so many things happen. And then, as if Baba remembers, he said, well, in the morning, now it's, morning has passed away, we had our lunch, again Baba would come in the afternoon, and she said, Baba says, why did you just raise your hand? Why did you raise your make your hand like this? Then I had the answer. See? I can say that it was not without any reason. I said, Baba, you asked me to remind you. So then that book also, I was right over there. So I said, Baba, you asked me to remind you of this book exactly after 1 year, and so I am asking you. Baba said, oh, it was that. All right. And so at least I should have been wise just to stop at that. So I have reminded him, and he said, yes, that's all right. So there was no mistake on my part, so I should have stopped at that. Then again we are playing cards or something like that, and then just as we are sitting and somebody asked a question, so I said, Baba, then what should I do with the book? Baba made such a funny face and looked at me, and he says, well, it has a hard cover. The book had a hard cover. He said, Baba said, use it as a nice pillow. But don't open it. Don't read it. Use it as a pillow. So I did use it for some days as a pillow. The same thing happened with other two books there, but there's a different story. But when people ask about the book, I said, Baba has given me the book, but I don't know what is in it or what's the title of the book also.
Bal, does that mean you think those two incidents were related?
Huh? The other two incidents?
Baba's mysteriously lost book and this.
No, when people ask the question, do you know anything about the book? So I said, I have the book given by MeherBaba. It's with me. Yeah. But don't ask me what is it.
Is this book still with you?
No, it's not. I never opened it. It's still, there are two other books also. So that was my, rather Baba's way of showing intimacy towards me when people would come and offer their books to Baba. And when the group goes away, then Baba would call me. And then I would know. Then I would not ask. Then he would do the same trick like this. He would take the book. By the time I reach him, he would make it like this. He said, keep this with you. Don't open it. Don't read it. So one over the other. But I didn't ask him what to do about that book.
Are the books are there with you?
Yeah. Then, of course.
So you haven't opened it and read it?
How? Not even a dream. There is a thought of opening it or reading it. Yeah.
but you knew what that first book was.
Yeah, it was a commentary on Gyaneshwari because that was said in front of Baba's presence.
Oh.
Yeah, the man was telling about the book. Baba said, "Nice, it's a nice thing that you have written about," and I know the person also. Yeah.
Does that mean that those books were never printed?
Which books?
Well, the ones that you were given.
That
You don't know the title of it, you don't know what
I know nothing of what had happened to those books. I don't know. They were just the visitors who came to Baba and gave presented those books to Baba. And now they are wrapped up in some newspaper and with some string on, and sometimes a thought comes and I said I should flow them in some river flow or somewhere or like that, or even if I do it or don't do it, as long as I don't open them and read them, it's all right. That's Baba's order to me.
You can use it as a pillow.
I did use it as a pillow first because Baba didn't say all the time. That's also all right. This brings in another nice incident. How we get ourselves bound to by our own thoughts and orders. So there was not a Baba lover. I think he had come to see Baba. Baba liked him and he said, "Well, I'm happy to see you." That was what Baba would say, because he was seeing himself in them. And then he said, "All right, remember me and don't worry." He said, Baba said like this. And I like you and some other things which I don't remember now. And the man felt so pleased that he said, "Baba, now that I have come to you and you have asked me to remember you and all these things, will it not be nice to fast one day a week?" I would say, "Oh, that's very nice, very nice for digestion, nice for health." And Baba's ways were such as if that all felt that he has asked the most wise or the wisest question that one could ever ask. He said, "Oh, very nice, once a week. Whatever day you choose, it's better that he didn't ask for the day." He said, "Once a week, something, that's good. And even for the system and body, it's good like that." And again, Baba just see how nice he is and all that. And again, Baba is talking with other people and the time passes by. And then he says, "Baba, is it not good to wake up early in the morning between 5:30 like that?" Baba said, "Yes, that's the time when really the best time for meditation and thinking of God, and that's very nice. Yes, that's right, you get up." So he got first self-bound on his own to observe fast once a week. And then the second was this, getting up early in the morning between 5:30, whatever the time, I don't remember exactly. But it was good that it was a general meeting and the group had to leave. And when the group left, Baba looked at us and he said, "See, poor fellow, I just told him, remember me and be happy, and he unnecessarily got himself bound with two things." So I didn't ask him about using the pillow for all the time. Should I use it every week or every day? Well, I'm not that mad. Yes, I am, brother. So such was life. People feel that whether Baba is for us, the ordinary people, the people of the world, the people who live their daily lives and all these things, is it that they have to do this, they have to do that? Baba says, bring me in that. In whatever you do, get me into it. And then it's all right. And suppose even if you are sitting in a cave and very quiet and you have thoughts of all the world over and all these things, so where is he? He's not there. You have so many other strangers, that, as Baba called them. You are with the strangers. But when you are with your own work, in your own house, or with your own friends, and still you are thinking, "Oh, how nice, is Baba with me?"
Can I ask you a question? Do you feel
If I have the answer, I'll tell you. I'm not an answer box. Yeah,
You seem so happy and joyous.
yeah, yeah.
Do you feel that you have never really suffered?
You'd have been just here 10 minutes back
Oh, I
when,
missed
when I read something. You see, everyone, that's what the other day I was telling. People feel that those who are with Baba, their life is just on bed of roses. It's not like that. It's not like that. They have to pass through agony, suffering. Well, Marwan is here, otherwise I would have said all the time I could be joyous by the time you leave. There are so many, you see, I even tell people that there were moments in my life, being the eldest member in the family, I would not be allowed to shed tears in their front, so I would go in the bathroom and then just cry and would say, Baba, this is enough, I cannot stand it. You are a compassionate one. I accept that I have to pass through, but keep it for the next life.
No, only one thing I would like to tell you in this connection.
Yeah.
That everybody has a suffering and some trouble or some
Good, somebody knows more about me.
But when you are in the company of Baba or you think of Baba, then that will come down. You won't feel to that extent, and those who are completely, who have absolute faith, they will take it happily. And you will just quote an example. If somebody's son died, then he's weeping and all that and time. But if you have dedicated yourself completely to Baba, then you won't feel that pinch.
Life is, yeah. Well, where is the question of agreement? Well, everyone has his, it's always Baba. You see, as long, if I say, I love Baba, I have faith in Baba, I do the other way. When people ask me, what is it that has kept you to Baba? And it was really a very long way. They say the snail's speed, but who walks, whose speed is even less than snail? Snail, is there an animal they say at snail's speed, less than a snail?
That's pretty slow.
If you don't know, it's me in my going to him. So, what was I telling? Yeah. So then people say, how is it that still you stayed with Baba? Well, someday we will tell that how Baba himself knew that I don't believe in him as avatar, and yet how very lovingly he asked me the question and made me go through all these things. But that has nothing to do with his unconditional love for each of us. It's not that what you are and what you try to become, but it's only the awareness of Baba's unconditional love for you that sustains, and that has sustained me. So it's not your own effort. So had it been just your own efforts, there have been so many people like that. But it's that helplessness. See, total dedication, you Baba, like this. And then he says, oh, you say that? Yes, I'm here. All right. There are so many, it's people say like that, and it's a fact when I talk about Baba especially. But I was with Baba and I was worrying for something about the family matters. And Baba was in Guru Prasad, and that Guru Prasad building was just like this from here to the other end. And Baba was in the end room there, and I was on the other veranda. I don't know how to give. There was, say, 4 times of this Mandali Hall was a big hall. And on the other side, there were 3 rooms, and the other side, there were 3 rooms. And there was a big veranda. If you had seen Guru Prasad pictures in 62, that thing. So Baba was in his room, and I was right away, say, 100 yards away from him sitting, and I had just returned from my home, and the children of my sister had just gotten over typhoid fever. So now Baba had gone there. Erich also had gone to Vindra House. In the early days, he used to go to Vindra House. And I used to be the only one on the other side. Bhaud used to be with Baba. So I was sitting there just like this. And I started like this. What would are they taking the right prescription and all not, and generally I hope some of you know what worry is, at least some of you must be worried. So I'm worrying here and just sitting like this, and there is no one around, and there is that big compound that you have seen, no one there, and just now I find Bauji just coming from Baba's room, just like a soldier, he is coming like this, and I was sitting here, he stands before me, and he looks at me and he says, Baba tells you not to worry, about turn, and goes away. Just that much. What is he saying? Now see how Baba knows. This was in the 30s. This happened in the 30s. Now this is 88. And then he goes there, and after going there, naturally, those were the days when the marriages were arranged and in the families and all that. And anyway, according to Baba's wish, he got married, and then he had a first issue, which was a girl. The girl was named Shireen, and the second issue was a boy. How did Baba know in those years? Some years back, some 6, 7, 8 years back, he said, you go to Iran, get married, and name your second son Jahangir. So the second, he was very happy, and he named him Jahangir. Now days passed by, months and weeks and years. Jahangir is now getting young and all that. And Baba doesn't impose himself on anyone. That is the beauty of Baba. Baba is the most natural one, if at all you have to say. In addition to the ancient one, I call him the most natural one. Yeah. And that's why the Jahangir, as he was quite young, he went to the college, he went to the medical college, and he wanted to be a doctor and all that. But somehow he never agreed with his father to accept MeherBaba. He said, what MeherBaba has done for you? See, I see your other friends, they are getting off so well in worldly ways, and you have to live in this small house and all these things. And he would listen to all, but he would never scold him. All the time, his response would be loving him all the more. So the son was so touched, he said, I am talking to my father like this, but he never utters even a single little word against me, never scolds me like this. So one day he dared ask him that, well, what is it that I say such things to you? Now I am quite grown up, I am going to the college and all these things, and what is it that makes you not to say a word to me at all? And he said, no, why? I can't do that, I can't do that. He said, why? Because you are a gift from my master, MeherBaba. And MeherBaba is Zoroaster, like Krishna, like Jesus. She said, now he was at that age, how can he accept that? You see? Yeah. And naturally, they said, all right, you go in your own way, but you are his gift to me. And then he told him a little story of it. But how could the reason understand, intellect could grasp it? Unless Baba wants it, then in no time the conviction is there. As long as you journey with the intellect and reason and all that, Baba says, all right, go that way, go that way, go that way. And when you say, no Baba, hands up, I'm here, the same way. So then he said, all right, let me go and ask MeherBaba, how dare he say that he can say that he is Zoroaster. So in 1965, when Dr. Jahangir first came, so there was a big darshan at Pune. You might have seen some shots of that film. And now he comes there for Baba's darshan, and he tells this story here because he was here for Amartiti. This Amartiti was here, and then he said, well, I got in the line and I was about 20 feet away from Baba, and I was determined that as soon as I approach MeherBaba, I will ask him, are you Zoroaster? How dare you say that you are Zoroaster? And then he said, as I was 20 feet away from him and people were just getting into the queue and seeing Baba and getting on the other side, and Prasad was given on the other side and all that, he said, to this day, to tell you the truth, when I went to Baba, and again I still don't know whether I bowed down to him, whether I touched his feet or what I did, I don't remember. 20 feet when I was away from Baba, I just looked at Baba and Baba looked at me and I said, what I was going to do and what will happen to me. So he was so determined to ask Baba, to question Baba, but Baba's ways with him were so different. And that little thing, that no answering, Baba didn't ask question, he didn't answer. But that no answering to the question, through that, Baba touches our heart. And he says, all the questions, they are of the mind. That level is different. But if you really want me to know, you just say, he doesn't want us to be impractical at all. He doesn't want us to discard reason. He doesn't condemn intellect at all. But at the same time, what he says that it's the heart where you will find it. And this is the way, that's why I said that he knows best, and now that you are here, and although it is for a short while or whatever period it is here, that's fine, and he knows what is best. And that's what he told Sharia to go. And then this Dr. Jahangir had been here 2-3 times, and this Amar Tithi, he had been here, and when he was asked, he was working on the Iraq and Iran border as a doctor, so that he was allowed to come. Otherwise it's not that easy to come from Iran over here. So he was here. So Baba can make any excuse for you to bring here. You may say, though I was thinking to come, but I couldn't come, and this time this happened and that happened. But it's always this excuse. He brings out some excuse that brings you over.
आजकल डॉक्टर जहांगीर कहाँ हैं?
अभी ईरान चले गए वो।
अच्छा, यहाँ कब आए थे?
यहाँ अमर तिथि को आए थे।
अच्छा,
हाँ,
अभी
ये अमर तिथि को आए थे। उनके साथ 2 सर्जन भी, एक सर्जन भी आया था वहाँ तक, शिराज का सर्जन भी आया था। उसने भी बताया कि कैसा मैं बाबा के पास आ गया। दोनों मोहम्मदन थे। ये ज़ोरोस्ट्रियन था, वो एक अली और एक मोहम्मद ऐसा था। तो वो दोनों भी आए थे। तो और यहाँ से अभी याद आती है कि बाबा कैसी, हाउ बाबा क्रिएट्स एन एक्सक्यूज, बट there has to be a link. We belong to his family, that's why we come here. Otherwise, why people from New Zealand and France and America and should come, and those people who are right here in Ahmednagar, they say, oh yes, we have seen Meher Baba, we know Meher Baba. That's all. What do they know? What do they know? But there was a funny story I am reminded now here. What an excuse Baba could make was this, that there was a person, he was a primary teacher, and he was living in a village, and it was a very small school wherein he was working, and in that school on Thursday it was the harvest season, so he wanted to work more, so he didn't turn up to the school on Monday. He worked home on Saturday and Sunday and didn't go to school on Monday also. And Monday was the last day of the month when they have to submit their reports and all that. He said, I'll be losing my job. He said, of course. But he said, I had already submitted the report that I was here on Monday, I have signed it and I have made it. That also has reached. And this report has also gone. And so now what to do? So when he thinks of that, and now he was not a well-off person, so he knew that now he's going to lose his job. So he wondered about it, so what's the way out of it? But Baba wants some excuse. He creates some excuse. And that's why once in one of his messages he has quoted a couplet which means, grace of God does not look for merit, does not care for any merit or qualifications. It looks for an excuse to flow out. Just the moment you knock, Baba, really? Yes, I know, I'm here, I'll help you. So anyway, this person, as he belonged to Baba's family, so now somebody said, well, now you have to go and beg pardon of the officer that you have filled in a wrong report and you have lied in that and all, or whatever is you have to suffer for that. But he said, is there any way out? He started asking people. So one man said, yes, there is one way out. He said, what's that? He said, well, you know the office there? He said, yes, I know where the district office is. He said, near the office there is a big gate and near that big gate, this is at Sholapur, near that big gate is a tree, and you stand near the tree, and when the officer gets down from the horse cab, you just take one person with you and ask loudly to him, do you know anything about Meher Baba? Do you know anything about Meher Baba? And then he asked him, but who is Meher Baba? He said, that I don't know. I only know that this would work. If at all there is any solution for it, it is this solution, that when the officer comes there, you have to stand there, and as he gets out, you have to just say, who is Meher Baba? Who is Meher Baba? But he said, who is Meher Baba? He said, I don't know that. Anyway, he goes there and he stands there and he waits for this officer to come, and then as soon as he sees coming, he talks loudly. Do you know anything about Meher Baba? Do you know anything about Meher Baba? So now naturally the officer gets down and he goes to that person. He says, you want to know something about Meher Baba? He said, yes, that's what I am asking. All right, I'll tell you. He was the district officer in charge of all the schools. That was Gadekar. And so he goes in, and now he knows that it was hard for him to get to the district officer there. So now as he is passing, so now this man, now they all started looking at him, because he is a sort of a nobody in that office, because he would come to some section and some help, or submit here and submit there. He was just an ordinary primary teacher, what they called one teacher school in a remote area. And now he's walking with the district officer, so he wondered, how can he go like that? And they started looking at him, and he just lowered his head and he's going ahead. And in the end now, he gets to his cabin. So the officer himself opens the door and he says, get in. He says, no. He said, no, get in. You want to know Meher Baba? You want to know something more about Meher Baba? He said, yes. So now he gets into his cabin. The officer sits in his chair and he asks him to sit in the front chair. And now he's totally terrified. He doesn't know what to do, because he had lied, he's a culprit before him. And he says, no, don't worry, you want to know more about Meher Baba? So sit down, I will tell you, because he was one of Baba's very close lovers and a very innocent person. Although when I met him, he was at the age of 45, but his love for Baba was really very rare type, you see, very innocent and total. So now, then he said, well, why are you afraid? Tell me what's the cause. And then he says, sir, to tell you the truth, so he tells the whole story, how he has lied and how he had gone to the farm and how he was absent, and although he has written like this and he has submitted the false report, and he said, it's only that, but you want to know more about Meher Baba, is it true? He said, yes, of course, I want to know what else he could say. And then he called back all the papers and he straightened the whole case out, and he said, yes, you have done this, but I give you the warning and anything. And he talks about Baba, and then he gave him a pamphlet about Baba. He sees Baba's picture, and by the time he didn't remember what was all going on. He was not in that state at all. But now he comes out, sees at Baba's picture, and starts remembering, how is it? What is this magic in this name that I just said I want to know about Meher Baba, and all this thing has happened? And then as Baba would have it, and as everything needs a perfect timing, after some days it so happened that Baba was going to give darshan here at Ahmednagar, the 3 incredible weeks from which I told you about the 4 seconds just now. So it was Baba had given, you might have seen in the film, Baba sitting right on the top of a car and going above. So that was a great darshan at Ahmednagar in Wadia Park, as you used to call, where more than 50,000 had come. And at that time, he wanted to come for Baba's darshan to attend that program. But he was again living in a remote village. So by the time he came, reached the railway station, the train had left. So he said, now how can I go? It was far away from Ahmednagar. So now he's standing on the road, not knowing what to do. Just then he sees that a truck passes by, a lorry passes by. And then it stops there. And he looks at him, he says, because at that time, to give you an idea, well, it's a triangle. If this is Pune, this is Ahmednagar, and this was his place. And this was the main road from Sholapur to Pune, was the main road. The trucks would generally run by that road. They won't go this way. And so he stops there. Yeah. Yeah. You're free to go if you want to go. It's all informal. Come anytime, go anytime. I only ask them that I will take them to Baba's room and all. And this will all be over in 2 minutes also. We are at the end of the story itself. And so anyway, the truck driver stops there. He said, well, where do you want to go? He said, I want to go to Ahmednagar. He said, Ahmednagar? I am going there. Why don't you get in? So he asked him to get in his truck, and they drive, and there was no one else in the truck. The truck stops right where this one, your bus comes by that same route. Just as you go by, after the ST bus station, on the right hand side, if you ask someone, now it is known as Nehru Park, or I don't know what's the present name, but formerly it was called Wadia Park. Your bus comes by that same route. Just as you go by, after the ST bus station, on the right hand side, if you ask someone, now it is known as Nehru Park, or I don't know what's the present name, but formerly it was called Wadia Park. So that ground is still there. So the truck stops there, and he says, is this the place where you want to go and have Baba's darshan and all that? That's why. All right, now get down here. He says, how much have I to pay you? He says, no payment. When I come tomorrow, I will collect payment for you. I have also to take Baba's darshan. The next day, the man doesn't turn up. And this man goes to Baba in that crowd of 50,000, gets at Baba's feet, and he says, Baba, now I am yours. And since then, that moment in his life, why I especially remember this, because still it is a small village, but in this Maharashtra, this area, it is sort of a Baba oasis. Because it is from that place, for every Amar Tithi, 25 to 30 villagers, they just come by train. They have not to reserve any hotel or any special accommodation or anything. Whatever they have on their back. So they come on 30th evening, and somehow they come by bus to Meherabad for the night. They sleep on the hill. On 31st, they take Baba's darshan, join in the silence, and by again 2 o'clock, they again leave by the bus and go to their village. The man still comes. So that's what I say. Baba only creates an excuse for you to bring here. What sort of excuses he can create, he alone knows, but he never repeats. Whatever has happened in your case hasn't happened in my case, and whatever has happened in my case won't happen in anyone's case. I think that's why we call Baba the ever-renewing presence. And that's what I told you just now, that I don't call that white marble a white marble, but it's the ever-renewing Baba's marble. Jai Baba.